What you're looking at here is definitive evidence of lost ancient high technology. Known as the Colossi of Memnon, these two statues are located in Luxor, Egypt. However, each of them were carved out of one solid piece of quartzite stone, which originally weighed approximately 1,000 tons apiece. However, being cut and carved, they are estimated at 720 tons apiece now. The fact they're made out of quartzite is unbelievable, because that is a 7 out of 10 on the Mohs scale of hardness, with a diamond being a 10. Now, most megalithic structures around Egypt and elsewhere around the world are carved out of granite or basalt, which basalt is approximately a 6 out of 10 on the Mohs scale, and granite varies between 6, 6.5, depending on the type of granite. Now, how they were able to cut and carve this stone is a complete mystery. After all, modern-day Egyptologists claim that the dynastic Egyptians utilized stone hammers and bronze chisels to cut and carve stone. However, that's completely impossible with this type of stone, as well as granite and basalt as well. However, many people have proposed different methods that could have been utilized, although very primitive, to cut and carve different types of stone in the megalithic structures as seen commonly around Egypt, including the pyramids. However, I'm yet to see any of these methods done on quartzite. Now, that's not to say it's not possible. However, the size of these statues is astounding. And to think that they would have used those primitive type methods on something this large, I consider to be incredibly unlikely. Now, what's interesting about these two stone statues being made out of quartzite is that the closest area in the region they could have came from is more than 420 miles away, nearly 700 kilometers, in modern-day Cairo, where there is a quarry that was known and proven to be utilized by the dynastic Egyptians for various statues and other stone structures. So the question becomes, how on earth were they able to move something so massive? Now, if they were moved before they were cut and carved, like I said, 1,000 tons apiece. As they stand now, 720 tons. And you only have to look at what it took in 2012 for the Los Angeles County Museum of the Arts to move a 340-ton stone. They had to custom build a 295-foot-long, 196-wheel Emerald International truck to move something that was half the weight of these statues and almost a third of the weight of what these stones would have been prior to being cut and carved. Many Egyptologists theorize that different stone blocks, for example, utilized in the construction of the pyramids, would have been moved over tree trunks. However, that is completely unrealistic when you consider something this big and massive over that far of a distance. In fact, if you research the Colossi of Memnon, you'll see that there's virtually zero explanation into how these were cut and carved. Now, to many people, at a first glance, besides the fact that these are incredibly huge, they're obviously incredibly damaged. However, upon a closer inspection, you can see that there's incredible high precision that was utilized in various areas of these statues prior to being destroyed. Now, whether they were destroyed by people after some sort of war, who knows? But there is evidence that has been discovered by professional geologists that they have been heat blasted in some way, and some theorize that they may have been subjected to a plasma blast from the sun tens of thousands of years ago, which further validate the theory that the dynastic Egyptians did not create these statues and that they found them, and that the human civilization that existed before the great cataclysm that had happened 12,980 years ago would have had some sort of advanced high technology. And even look at this photo here, where you can see that the base, although taller than most people, most of that base is still buried under the ground. The base themselves, though, however, are more than 400 tons apiece. Look, guys, what we were taught in school and what they were actively teaching in school today and in the textbooks is clearly inaccurate, in that there's so many holes in the theories that modern-day Egyptologists have that it's completely impossible for these statues and many other examples of megalithic structures around Egypt and elsewhere around the world to have been done by the primitive methods that have been stated and proposed by modern-day Egyptologists. Definitely check out my video about the ancient cataclysm, as there's definitive evidence that there was a massive catastrophe on planet Earth that reset human civilization nearly 13,000 years ago. Anyways, guys, I'm Jimmy. This is Bright Insight. Like and subscribe. Help me spread the message. Take care, everybody.